Hi everybody, welcome to Are We There Yet? My name is Cheryl. I'm glad to see you today. Are you having a good day? It's cold here. It's very cold, but the sun's out. So that's something that hasn't happened in the past couple days. So I'm excited about that. We've still got a couple inches of snow on the ground, and there's kind of like a layer of ice on top of it, and it's cold outside. It was 25, I think, when I woke up this morning. So yeah, it's been really cold, but it's winter. You know, that's I'm hibernating. I'm enjoying the season. So what I thought, I just got out of the shower and I was thinking about it, and you know, I don't my hair. I tried that. I can't remember his first name, but his last name's Mondo butterfly cut, and I really like it. I really do. It's I cut my bangs a little too short because I went back and cut my bangs and shouldn't have done that. But it's kind of like a layered look, and it's got good layers. I really like it. It's very similar to the way I've been cutting my hair, and just a little bit different. So I thought I'd try it, and I really like it. So it's I don't have anything in it. I just, like I said, got out of the shower. And you'll have to look over my nails. I'm letting them grow. So there's that. I don't know what's going on with this lighting. That's better. I thought I would sit down with you and visit and talk about something that I brought up in a recent video about my existential crisis that I've been going through, and share my experience with you, because several of you said that you can relate, that you've been through same or similar circumstances, and you know, I will say that I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist. I am not in any way, shape, or form, offering any advice on how to deal with anything. All I'm doing is sharing my experience and what I've been going through over the past few years. And boy, it's been intense. Let me tell you, it's been really intense. So I wanted to share with you what I've went through and how the steps that I took to maybe help myself through this. And I'm may get some flack for this, but I do not believe in therapists. I do not believe that it's healthy. I don't believe that it's something, it's not for me. I'm sure it helps thousands and thousands of people, but I'm not one. My depression and my anxiety over the years, my doctors have suggested that I go to therapy. They've made me appointments, and I've got up to the day, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. My view is, I don't want a 30-year-old telling me, getting into my head and telling me, what I should be doing, what I should be thinking, how I should respond to certain things that are going on in my life, just because they've went to school. I'm sorry, but nothing trumps life experience. Nothing. Now, if I could find a therapist that was 60, 65 years old just to talk to, then that might be something. Quit. He's going to wreak havoc here. I just know it. He's all up in my business. But, somebody who has more life experience than I do, I will take advice from. I will take, and I know there's tools that they can offer to help you, but I just think that too much emphasis is put on that. And what they do is they dredge up all of that mess, that everybody has mess. Everybody has mess. And I don't care who you are. I don't care how old you are. If you're an adult, you've got mess. There's things in your past that you would change. There's things in your past that you regret, and dragging up all that stuff and then harping on it week after week after week. It is just, to me, it's unhealthy, and I don't know, maybe if I'd have went to a therapist, I would have reached the point I'm at now sooner. I don't know. But I'm proud of myself that I did it myself, and I did it my way, and I've come to terms with things my way, and that just feels better to me than depending on somebody else with less life experience trying to tell me results of the choices that I've made in my life. So I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. But I could go on for days and days about that, but I'm just I'm just not a therapy kind of person. But I will share with you what I did over the past 3 years. I'm not going to sit down and go through 3 years of my history, but I thought maybe I'd tell you some of the things that were going on in my head and what I did to get past it finally, the steps that I took to get past it. So be as it may, And I thought while I was doing it, I've been putting something off that I've been needing to do. I got these Temu little jewelry trays a while back, and I have costume jewelry. I have a couple pieces of actual jewelry, but all my jewelry's costume because I'm not a jewelry person. I'm not. You could see I don't have a stitch of jewelry on, but I do like my rings and I do like my earrings. So I got these little drawers, and my rings are in these two. Yeah, my rings are in these two, and then I have some little sectioned drawers. I've got 2 of these. So I've got this drawer here, and then I've got 3 other drawers that I'm going to put my earrings in. And I don't know what I'm doing about my bracelets yet. I think they have, I think Temu has these, but they're longer and they stack. So I may get a couple of those for, I don't know, for my, boy, if you want anything from Temu, you better get it for the 20th of this month. You better get it for the 20th of January, because I'm mighty afraid that there's going to be a reckoning with China. So there's been a couple things that I've wanted to get for Christmas presents this year, and I went ahead and got them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and go through these earrings. I've already went through them once, months ago, and I gave my sister a ton of them. And I kept the ones that I thought I would, wear. And I may pare down some more. Well, I probably will. But I would like everything to fit in here. So that's the goal, because I want rid of this mess. Oh, this is what I have them in now. All right, let's. I'm just going to show you the earrings. I can't put links, guys. I have like over 200 Temu orders, and I don't have the energy to go through all that to find these. So I'm going to hold them up, and you can take a screenshot and search do an image search on Temu, and that'll work. That should pull up, what you're looking for. So I do apologize for that. But these earrings, I bought these over the last 2 years, and that's a lot of orders to go through. So I'm just going to sit here and show you the earrings and talk. And so get yourself something to drink, or get your crafts out, or and we'll just spend a little time together. So about 3 years ago, I was coming up on the age that my mom was when she died. And that was really, really weighing on me, because I was like conflicted, because it's like, why didn't she get to live longer? Why am I approaching this age and I'm still here? And and I'm going to be older than my mother, and all this stuff was going through my head. And it started about 3 years ago. And, like I said, I've always battled with depression and anxiety, but it really ramped up. It really did. And it was harder and harder for me to put on a happy face and just act like, nothing was going on, when I was just being ate up. I was just being up. I eat up. I was like, what is the point? What is the point of all this? And let me preface that by saying that I have faith in God, and I am a Christian. I try to do my best to live right and gain my entry into heaven. I love God, and I have my faith. So I know there is something waiting for us, whichever way you go, there's something waiting. I know that. And it's not the afterlife that I'm worried about. It's the point of this life. Okay, it's the point of this life. It's, and you know, I mean, we all hope that we've earned our way into heaven, and I hope that I'm living a life that God is, you know, pleased with, and you know, I hope that I'm doing what I need to do. But and not but and that's comforting to me, because I feel like that's going to be okay. I trust Him, and it's this human, this mortal life that I struggle with, okay? If that makes any sense, you know? So, what did I do? Instead of, you know, trying at that point to move forward and to just embrace the moment, you know, kind of, I dove headfirst into it. I bought an Ancestry. Well, I was looking for my dad, so, you know, that had to do with that. But I bought an Ancestry subscription. Now, look over my nails. I'm letting them heal, you know, letting them rest for a while. But I bought an Ancestry subscription. I started going to graveyards, which I love graveyards. I love old graveyards, you know. And I started going to graveyards. I started looking into my family history, and I started, you know, thinking about the people that were in my life when I was growing up who are no longer here. And what I missed, I regretted not asking them questions. I regretted, you know, so much. I didn't, you know, ask questions of my great-grandmother while she was here. And I was like, what was I thinking? You know, I was young. I wasn't thinking about this stage in my life. I wasn't thinking about what's going to happen, you know, when I get older, and how I was going to feel when I get older. I was living my life. It was, you know, I was young, and you know, I mean, but then when I, you know, I was going through all this, I was like, why didn't I ask them, you know, what life was like back then? Why didn't I ask them what experiences they had? You know, why didn't I do all that? And so, you know, I got myself bogged down so much in the past, and what had went on in the past, and you know, the mistakes that I had made, and just feeling bad about so much that had gotten by me, you know. So I started thinking about the mistakes that I had made, you know, raising my children, and, you know, okay, so to me, there's a big difference between mistakes and choices, okay? There are a lot more choices than there are mistakes. Mistakes are things, to me, that I did when I was young and didn't know any better, okay? It's like, if you know better and you decide to do something and it turns out wrong, that's a choice. But to me, if you don't know any better, then that's a mistake. And I made some mistakes when I was a young mother. You know, we all did. We all did. And if you say you didn't, you're fooling yourself, because we all did. You know, and there was a couple instances in my son's lives that I really screwed up. You know, I mean, I really screwed up. It's not health wise, or you know, there was no abuse, neglect, anything like that. But there were some things that I would definitely do different. You know, if choices that I made and mistakes that I made, I would definitely do differently if I had them to do right now. I'll just put it that way. Now I would totally do things differently. And I had made a few of those over the years, and those things were weighing on me. And I was carrying those things for years and years and years. You know, like, oh, I regret that. That's my biggest regret. I regret doing that. And little things, you know, nothing. I actually, during this process, my kids were home. And I was talking to them about it, and I said, you know, I really regret that. They either didn't remember, or they remembered and just didn't give it another thought. Like, Mom, that is not something that I'm worried about. I'm not worried about that. That, you know, goodness gracious, that was nothing. Now that was their response to me. And here I was, and still dragging that stuff, dragging it with me. Like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? What was I doing? So all those regrets. And then I was researching Ancestry for my dad, and I think I've shared with you all before that through Ancestry, getting my DNA done, I did find my biological father, who I've been looking for my whole life. My whole adult life, I've been looking for him. And then when I found him, he, to make matters worse, he didn't want anything to do with me. I was a one-night stand, and that's all I am to him. And so that kicked me in the gut. That kicked me in the gut, because I'd spent so much time, so much effort in trying to find him, and was so excited when I found out he was alive, and and it's like I would have a chance at a relationship with him. So that didn't work out. So all that piled up and piled up, and then we moved back home into my grandmother's house when my dad died, because I inherited my grandmother's house. So we moved back to, near where I grew up, very near, like 6 miles away. And things were so different. Okay, so my elementary school has burned down. My junior high, they demolished, leveled it. It's there, you can't even tell there was a building there. My high school burned down, and it's gone. Completely gone. So all 3 schools that I attended growing up are gone. Gone. And people, of course, all of the neighbors that I had growing up, they were all my parents' age or older. Gone. Gone. Just gone. We just recently lost probably the last one on I think, the middle of December. Probably the last person that I remember that was older, when we were growing up. She was 83. And she ran a local gas station here forever. And she passed away in mid-December. I knew her sister, I knew the family. She was very close to my family. And, she's gone now. And just recently. So it's like I felt like my roots were just being pulled up one at a time. My roots were just going, It's like nothing was left. And I felt, oh gosh, I got to write all this down. I got to write all this down. I've got to save this for my children. I've got to write all this down. And I've got to save all this. I've got journal after journal started of, pages and pages of things, what I remember, who I grew up with, who were my neighbors, who was, and I just had to do all that. I just had to do all of that. These you wear like this. I thought they were really pretty. I had to write all that down before it was, gone, and before I forgot it, and before it was out of my mind. And so that's what I did. I just dove into it. Like I said, I was visiting the cemeteries and thinking about those people who have been laying there for 100 years. Just laying there. Nobody remembers them. Nobody, nobody left knows who they are, what their daily life was, the children they had, their life. Nobody remembers them. They're gone. Just laying there for decades and decades. And all that was like, what's the point? What's the point? I'm going to pass away and leave my children here. And my children are going to know me. I don't have any grandchildren. My children are going to know me. I'm getting older. I don't have any grandchildren, to leave a legacy for at this point. At this point now, I still have hope. So, the fact of it, I was just going to be gone and forgotten, and, that was weighing on me. So, after a while, it was like, what am I doing? what am I doing? Because this is just not working for me. What's the point of it all? So I started writing my history. I started writing down everything that I was carrying with me. Everything from growing up the way I grew up. You know, my stepfather and I were not close, and he was kind of mean to me. And you know, I was carrying all that, my first marriage, and the way it ended, and what he did, and you know, my second marriage and what he did, and you know, and I wrote down all the things that I regretted about, you know, making choices, you know, or mistakes with my kids. I wrote all that down. I wrote every negative thing that I could over the past several months. I wrote down everything that I could possibly think of that was my history. Wrote it down. And I worked on that for days and days. And I would think of something else, and I would, you know, just sit down and write it down. You know, I wrote it all down. And it was cathartic to get it out. It was nice, you know, to just vomit on the page and just get it all out. And I felt that after I would sit down and write for a while, I felt better. You know, I felt better. It's just like, okay, this is me. This is me. This is my life. This is what I've done. This is what's been done to me. This is my life right here. This is, you know. And then I'd write more a couple weeks later, and yep, that's me. That's what I did. So I got all that out. I just got it all out. And like I said, I felt better. I felt better. But, you know, nowhere near where I needed to be. So I decided, I was researching this concept called seasonal living. And I really liked the idea of, you know, embracing the seasons. Instead of sitting here, these I'll probably get rid of. They're cute, but I don't know. I'll pick them. But I you know, I thought winter. So the more I looked into winter, I saw that winter was for reflection. And I thought, what a good time to deal with this. You know, what a good time. Winter was for reflection and for rest and recharging for the seasons ahead, and just, you know, just deep diving and going into, you know, yourself and your year past or your season past, and you know, what was, you know, going to come up, making plans, you know, thinking about the future, and I liked that. I liked the thought of just hibernating for the winter and enjoying the cold weather and enjoying the downtime. You know, I liked the thought of that. And then the other seasons, you know, I was looking at what they meant, and what, you know, what you could do during those seasons to fully live through the seasons. And I thought, living is what I need to do. I need to start living instead of, you know, instead of just, these I love, they're enamel. Instead of concentrating so much on what has been, I need to start, you know, embracing what is happening now in my life. And writing all that down and getting it out when done helped me come to that conclusion. So what I decided to do was, I was reading about an in-home retreat. And, you know, I don't have the money to go on a fancy, you know, retreat and, you know, one of these soul-searching things. I don't have the funds for that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my own. I'm going to do my own. And I made up this schedule for 3 days. And I did it specifically the 3 days before the first day of winter. Because I wanted to bring in winter with a fresh slate. Y'all hear my stomach? Oh my God. So I wanted to bring in winter with a fresh slate. Autumn, I was harvesting. I was harvesting. And I kept fall, I kept autumn right up to the 20th of December. I was watching fall jazz ambiance videos, which I highly recommend. Love, love, love those videos. It's just smooth jazz, and there's a pretty picture, and I was watching leaves fall. You know, it's snowing outside, and I was watching leaves fall. I was like, no, I am not going to go to winter. I'm not. This is still autumn. I'm going to celebrate autumn. And during autumn, you're supposed to harvest. And that's what I was doing. All those months, I was thinking, that's what I'm doing. I'm harvesting all of the things that are still in the soil of my life that need to be plucked out. I'm pulling them out. I am plucking all that mess out. And I want a fresh, clean slate. And so that 3 days, you know, I showed you my little snowflakes that I have for in my planner that, or my journal, that I listed down activities that I could do during the day. I'm retired. Okay, I have to fill my own days. I don't have work, and I know so many of you don't have that yet, but you're gonna get there. But I'm retired, and so I have to fill my own days so that I don't go stir crazy, and so that I can not sit on the couch and veg and scroll, doom scroll till my heart's content. I don't want to do that. So I have to structure my days. And so I thought, well, I'm going to choose, well, they weren't called snowflakes at that point, that came later, but I'm going to choose from the activities that I do every day. Aren't those pretty? And I'm going to add in some research in order to harvest all this mess. And so I got up and I had my coffee and did my planners and things that I do every morning. And then from there on, I didn't do any housework for 3 days, except the dishes that I messed up. I cleaned the dishes, but I didn't do any housework. I did journaling. I did podcasts. I did deep dives into things that were bothering me, and I did TED Talks that were really, really beneficial to me. I would search, like, I was struggling with self-acceptance because there's so much that I feel like I should do in my daily life that I just don't like doing. I'm like, okay, it's time that I admit that I don't like to cook. For years, I'm like, oh, I'm a good cook, and I'm just not cooking. I'm not cooking right now. I don't feel like cooking right now. I don't like to cook. I don't like to cook. I get in moods. Yeah. Oh my God. I am so sorry. I get in moods that I don't mind it. But as far as getting in there and cooking this, no, I don't like to cook. I don't. And that's just an example, because all my life I thought you should like to cook. Why don't you like to cook? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you that you don't, you raised 3 kids, you've done this and that, and why don't you like to cook? There's something wrong with you. And that kind of stuff was just, I don't. So I looked up self-acceptance, and I watched some TED Talks. I watched some, listened to some podcasts about self-acceptance from people who are, they weren't directing like a therapist would, directing what they say to me. They were just saying life in general things. And I could take from that what I needed, right? And make it what what worked for me, instead of having somebody trying to say, okay, you need to do this, and like twisting me and turning me and trying to form me. You know, you can't change people. You can't. I've learned that too. You can't change people. You can hope, and you can pray, and you can, you know, wish all you want, but you cannot change people. And I don't want anybody trying to change me. I want to accept who I am, you know, and deal with my own stuff. And yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? You say hi. You say hi? He's upset because his sister's out there making noise. So that's what I did. I took 3 days, and I mixed some fun in there, and I mixed some learning, some you know, some education. I mixed I mixed a bunch of stuff in there that really, you know, that I was interested in. And then I spent, you know, time taking care of myself. You know, I did my nails. I did, you know, my feet. I did feet soaks. I did these I probably won't keep. That's so small. Look how small that is. Yeah. See? No. I know I could bend it out. Probably. So I just filled my 3 days with just things that I wanted to work on. And my goodness, wasn't that wonderful? It was absolutely wonderful. And, you know, going for walks, and my husband was okay with giving me the space that I needed. You know, he was very supportive. He didn't know what I was doing, but he said, okay, if that's what you need, that's what you'll have, you know, and he was just great. But that's what I did. And so I went back over the things that I had written down, you know, over the months, you know, things that I was struggling with. And then I happened upon this video that absolutely did it. It just clicked for me instantly. It instantly clicked for me. And I'll share that video with you all. I'll share it with you. It's a doctor. I'm not sure what his specialty is, but it's Dr. Wayne Dyer. And he did a video titled, You Have to Give Up Your Personal History. And I didn't know kind of what to expect when I saw that, and I thought, well, let me give this a look. You know, let me give this a look for a few minutes. And oh my gosh. You know how some things happen in your life and it's just like life changing. You know, I've had a few of those happen in my life, but this just what he said. I shared it with my son. He was like, wow, that's just you know, and I've shared it with a few friends, and it's you know, everybody's different, and everybody's dealing with different things, and I understand that. So, you know, it's not going to work for everybody, but it did for me. And my point is, whatever you're struggling with, that's what you need to, you know, work on. That's what you need to work on. And he nailed what I was struggling with. He absolutely nailed it. So I watched that video 2 or 3 times. I did. I watched it it's only 13 minutes long. I watched it 2 or 3 times. And I was like, man, so you're distracting me. You're distracting me. He doesn't like me talking to somebody other than him. He doesn't like it. I feel like I've got so many more choices now that I'm seeing what I've got. But so what I decided to do was, on the last day of my little retreat, the last day, I took out all of the pages that I had written down of all the things during my life that's happened, all the things I was struggling with, all the past regrets. I took them all out, and I put them in front of me, and I laid my hands on them, and I closed my eyes, and I said a prayer. I talked to God for a long time, and I asked Him, please, just let me let go of this, and let me merge into the now, like Dr. Dyer suggested, and let me give all of that worry, all of that anxiety, all of that depression, all of that up that I'm carrying about all this past junk. And let me move forward in my life. And I asked Him, I just asked Him if if He felt it worthy of me to do that for me. And once I opened my eyes, I said out loud that I forgive myself. I said my name, and I said it over and over, and I said, I forgive you. And boy, let me tell you, a weight was absolutely lifted off of my shoulders. And in all honesty, as of right now, the things that I was carrying, with my sons and how they weren't a big deal to them and all this stuff, I haven't even thought of them since. I have not even, I am right now because I'm talking about it, but it's not even crossed my mind. And it was something that, almost daily was in my mind. Now these, my mother-in-law bought me. It's really pretty. She got me a necklace set that goes with these. But I haven't thought about it. I haven't even thought about it. And I decided, all that stuff about the past is the past. Those people lived. They had happy times. They had sad times. We don't know. Those are their memories. We don't have to have their memories. My children don't have to have my memories. They're my memories. I don't need to write those down for my children because it's not going to mean anything to them. I've got Mom's diary, and I've read, but those were things that she was going through. It was interesting to read, but if I didn't have that, would I still be okay? Yeah, I'd be okay. I don't need to leave all the detail about my life and who was around me, and I don't need to leave all that for my children because it doesn't matter. What matters, and this is what I've learned about my little existential crisis. What matters is your life now and enjoying the time that you have left on this earth and being happy, experiencing joy in every moment, being present in every moment, and doing what you love to do. You have to do what you have to do. I don't love cooking, but you know what? I have to do it, and I do it. And I'm trying to bring as much joy into it as I can. And as I go, and just smiling and whistling while I work, basically, just whistling while I work. And that has, I know I say and a lot. And so, I know I say and so ad nauseum. I understand. These are just pretty moissanite. So, that's what I learned. And that's what I've embraced, and that's what I'm doing. And, I can't go camping right now because it's winter time, and that's okay because winter is not a season for camping. And I'm okay with that. I was like, oh, I wish I was out there. No, I don't. I'm not wishing my life away. I'm fine where I'm at. And there'll be a time for that. So I'm just enjoying every day. I'm just enjoying it. And, I picked up a hobby that I've been thinking about doing, and another one because I need another hobby. And I've been working on cutting some images out of and I'll share that with you too, out of a magazine for that, and just diamond painting. And I've got some, a couple finishes to show you there. I did finish the second one that I was working on, so I'll be showing you that in a day or two. And these I don't care for, and so I'm just I feel good about letting my past go. I have given up my personal history, and I have merged into the now. Sounds cheesy, I know, but the time that I have left on this planet, and I'm thankful for, all of my memories of my mother are from when she was younger than me. My son told me that, and it just blew my mind. All of the memories that I have of my mother are when she was younger than me. That's crazy. But you know what? I'm thankful for every day that I have. And she would want me to be, right? She would want me to be happy and live a fulfilled life. She wouldn't want me to sit here and continue to grieve for her so much, that it affects my life. And I know that about her. I know my mother, and she would definitely want that for me. Those are a set of 3. The red, white, and blue ones. Pretty. You'll wear all 3 at once. That'd be nice. I'm running out of room. I'm running out of room. These, I'll just show you the rest of these, and then I'm going to go because I've kept you long enough. Pretty. This was also a set of 3, and I don't know where the third set is. They've gotten separated. I'm going to have to sit here and work on organizing these a little bit more. These are so cute. Love these. I'm a Cancer, and I just had to have these little crabs. Aren't they cute? Oh, no, that's different. I bought these to go with a hat. You ever bought earrings just to go with a hat? I did. These are cute. Oh, mandalas. Hearts. I love these boho type. I think we all have these. They were like 3 cents, weren't they? I think we all have these. They're pretty though. Love these. Love, love, love these. I wear these all the time. Moonstone. Got several moonstone pair because I like moonstone. It's not real moonstone, but it's moonstone-esque, right? Let's see what else I got here. Almost done. These are pretty. This is one of the first pair that I bought from Temu. I remember I've had those quite a while. These I don't know. These, they look like they would dangle. They would, you know what I mean? But they don't have very much movement at all. So I'm probably not going to keep those. These are cute. I love these owls. Okay, just a few more here. I like these. These I love, 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 but that's not working for me. My ear's too fat for those. These I like. These, yeah. Well, I don't know. That's kind of comes up and you put these in your ear. Oh, goodness. Nope. I haven't it. I'm not struggling. Not struggling. These are pretty, but yeah, don't like that. So these will go. And then got that other pair of turquoise that's very similar. What do I do with those? I think I'll keep these. I don't need both pair. All right, that's that. That's all my earrings. Gone through, almost organized. Still need to. I have purged 1, 7, 8 pair. And other than a couple little studs, that's empty. All right. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me. This video's a little longer than I anticipated it, and it's a lot longer than I wanted it to be. But, you know, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me, you know. And we'll do this again. I'll come up with something else to do, and we'll talk some more about some seasonal living and how I'm adapting it to me. And, you know, it might give you some ideas. And, you know, there's lots of things that I want to do. So, you know, and I have decided this year I'm not pressuring myself to make videos, because that was another thing. That was, oh, I felt so guilty if I didn't do a video. You know, I'll do videos when I am in the headspace to do videos, and I hope you'll stick with me and be here and visit with me, and we'll just see where it goes this year. So I appreciate all of you again, and thank you very, very much for this last 6 years, you know, on YouTube, and I'm ready for another 6. And so until I see you again, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day, and be happy. Bye-bye, everybody.